hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focused on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Tried to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become, my sweetest friend? Everyone. Hey, Red Instrumental, good to see you. Akash is here. Lix is in. Smokey Loki's in. I'm not sure how we're doing for um notifications today. It's going to be Susan. Don't don't make me blame you again. Timothy's here. Ow. Darius Porter. I hurt my thumb. I hurt my thumb today. Can I react to the Gogeta versus Broly fight? I don't know. Can I? I probably could. I won't be doing it anytime soon because the live streams aren't for recommendations for a reaction video. So who knows? Not doing. We're not doing for notifications today. Yeah, you can tell, Lix. It's become the part and parcel of trying to do anything on YouTube. Is you just have to understand that YouTube is incompetence. It generally is impossible, Nicholas. How come I'm so positive? I don't know if I'm always positive. I'm usually almost always happy, but that's just because a long time ago I realized that it's going to sound like an old adage, but it's true. It's just that life is too short to not be. I mean, we're here for such a brief period of time, and our existence is such a magnificent beating of the odds that what the hell? You might as well have fun. I'm always looking for the next reason to be happy, not the next reason to be sad. Have you seen Attack on Titan? Yeah, Attack on Titan was great, Nine Tokage. It was awesome. Awesome. Yeah, hey, Lick says no fun allowed, Susan. I That's fascinating. Now, right below Lick's box, this person, what language would that be, guys? Any idea? That's how come most languages just look prettier than English? I mean, that's fascinating to me. I have no idea. I usually always give Nick or grab some of your screen name as a way, obviously, to refer to you guys, but I can't read that. But I just really like the looks of that language. My sis is going to a better place. When is my sis going to a better place? And which sis? I'm lost. Well, thanks, Timothy. No, I didn't have steak fries last night, Loki. Tonight I'm having roast beef though. My wife's making a roast. That makes my pee wiggle. There we go. I am the notification list says. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Timothy. Like I say, that's just it's not anything that I necessarily try and encourage others to do. Everybody's got to have their own way through life, but for me, it's like it's just way too fucking short to not be looking to have a good time. Again, it's all one thing we know for sure about life is it's going to end, so might as well have all the fun you can while you got it. Let's see. Oh, not you, oh, okay. I apologize. I thought you were talking to me. It's like, what the hell? I better call my sisters because I didn't know anything about that. Who lost someone? I missed that. Oh, Bylove did. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Bylove. I'm sorry, I missed that first time through. I'm sorry to hear that. You're implying the world ever started. Yes. Yes, that's what I'm implying. I like these conversations, these kind of deep conversations we have here. You guys have a lot of interesting takes on it. See now, when Spaz Kid and I were talking about this earlier, and here I'll just lay some groundwork. For those of you who believe, as do I, that the cosmos is still ever expanding. Okay, let's put it this way. If we are just for the sake of giving you guys an illustration of what I'm trying to say, if we are point A, and this ever expanding cosmos is where it has extended to right at this moment. Oh, here comes Spaz Kid right now. We're just talking about the same thing we were talking about. If we are point A and point B is the point to where this ever expanding cosmos has reached right at this moment, and point C is just beyond that, what is point C's current state? What's there? What is that exactly? Of course, if we knew that, I think we would have we would probably have a lot of the answers that we're all looking for. But that's where it gets it really gets hairy. Ha, hairy. Why haven't they made baked bread cologne yet? I have no idea, Smoky Loki. That's a brilliant idea. Oh, if there might be smells more enticing than nice warm baked bread, but off the top of my head, I can't think of what it would be. That's a good point. Somebody needs to get on that. Brian says, I'm reminded of the very first lines of Red versus Blue. Hey, ever wonder why we're here? That's good. That's good, Brian. Yeah, it's fun. It's sometimes, for me anyway, it's fun to think about. I was going to say the unthinkable, but not necessarily the unthinkable. But it's fun to think about things that we probably have no real way to understand. I guess it's just fun to get ourselves into thinking maybe that we do. Susie says laws of physics haven't reached point C yet. Okay, that's interesting. But what is that's, and again, I know I'm asking a question that probably has no answer, but these are the things that keep me up. But that point C, and I agree with you, it has no physics, it has no what's the word? It has no character yet. But what is it? What is this constantly ever expanding cosmos expanding into? How can we say absolute nothingness? That I don't know that that's a concept that we can actually honestly wrap our brains around. The idea of absolute nothingness. Uh The weather is dull and gloomy today, fitting for my situation. Well, that's understandable by love with what Drew went through. Damon says, what is outside the universe? Ever thought of that? Yeah, it's fun for me, Damon. And again, I don't ask, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be an asshole and ask questions that there obviously no answer to. It's just stuff that's fun for me anyway, it's just fun to think about. Because again, I think from conversation we've had in the past, well, I guess it depends on what specific group we have in here at a given time, but it seems like a lot of you have the same outlook that I do, that the cosmos is ever expanding. So given that, that's what I always wonder. What is the background? What is the palette that we're expanding out towards? Mr. Fear says, I haven't gotten a notification from you in weeks. It's ridiculous, pal. I just, unfortunately, it comes to the point where you just have to throw up your hands because YouTube doesn't care. They make that very, if you say anything about it, they make it very plain to you that they really don't give a shit. And then some days, we some days it seems like we'll have a good number of notifications go out, and then others it's just like next to nothing, or they go out the next day. I'm here and you're here. Isn't it our time, Jeff Spicoli? Jeff Spicoli, Brian, is one of the all-time greats. Spicoli's character, for any of you who don't know that, of course, is Fast Times at Ridgemont High, is one of the best. Ocho says, what do you mean, world? We live in a simulation, buddy. And I'm waiting for Morpheus to wake me up to save all your stinky asses. Listen, that theory, you could give as much credence to that as any other, really. Exactly. I agree with it. DeZombie Don says our brains can't comprehend what nothingness is. That I think that's in figuring out the wonders of the cosmos. I think that's a big part of the roadblocks, not just the inability to see that far, but the limitations of our own brains, of what we can honestly wrap our brains around. When you guys agree, I mean, the thought of true nothingness, um, the thought of true eternity, I think those are things that it's close to impossible for us to really embrace, isn't it? Or am I wrong? Yeah, true. PC Gamer says these conversations make us really realize that we don't know shit about anything in the universe. That's true, PC Gamers. And I was talking with Brax about that too. I am always wowed and constantly impressed by how far we've come technologically just in the years that I've been alive. I mean, the technology that we take for granted today, guys, when I was a kid was absolute space age stuff that you never thought was going to be reality. It was stuff you played with in your mind. It was science fiction, non-attainable science fiction. So given that, we've made a lot of advances. However, in the grand scheme of things, we know nothing still. Nothing. Uh there's a theory that it's funny you bring this up, Susie. When Brax and I were talking about it, he said the same thing. He heard that same theory. There's a theory that you end up where you started if you believe in four-dimensional donut-shaped universe theory. Yeah, Brax was saying the same thing. He had read that and he was kind of fascinated by that. That eventually it's just circular. You would go out into the cosmos far enough and basically end up back in the Milky Way. Yes, I am. He had just I had never heard that before. That's kind of interesting. He had just told me about that. Uh John says, I think infinity is possible to comprehend. Nothingness will just take some serious brain juice. You could be right, John. Infinity, yeah, our brains are so conditioned to finite points. I think that's probably part of what helps keep us sane. So the concept of true infinity, yeah, that's hard. But see, for me, it's true nothingness too. It's like you have to suspend the idea of consciousness to believe in true nothingness. Didn't people think there would be flying cars by now? Well, there was always there were always the comic books and stuff like that that portrayed that stuff. But I think as a people, we laughed about things like that. But much the same way, I'll give you a good example. When I was a kid, if you would have said that we would have phones in our pockets, just that you could, in a moment's notice, just call someone from that phone, not attached to any wires, we would have said no. If you took it to the next level and said, well, no, you can not only call, you can just have that person's face right on the phone in live real time with you chatting back and forth, you would have been burned at the stake. You would have been a heretic. It was something that was it could have been funny to think about, but nobody genuinely thought it was going to be the case. And it's amazing that it's stuff that, again, has not only come to pass, but it's just an everyday part of life now. Ocho says the concept of nothingness is pretty scary. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, imagine no space, light, time, and matter itself. Right, right. And you would, I would assume that is basically where the cosmos is expanding onto is nothingness, right? What would be existing there? Because if something's existing there, that means the cosmos is basically overrating it. Flying cars are possible; they're just impractical. That's true too, Chrome. A flying car sure would be a possibility with current technology, but like Chrome says, they're impractical, and it wouldn't be a flying car along the lines of the Jetsons or something that works that efficiently at this point. There would be a lot more to it than just jump in the car and take off vertically and putter around at the stop signs and stuff. There would still be a lot of engineering blocks towards that type of flying car, but the concept itself, yes, it is possible with our current technology. Brian says witchcraft. That's one word to explain it all. Attaboy says, I don't think we will ever contact intelligent alien life. There are too many issues. If they're able to contact us, they're able to locate us, and it's an issue of resources. I don't know, Attaboy. I think again, given I've said in the past, I think it would be arrogant to believe that we could be the only situation that has created intelligent life in the cosmos for sure. I mean, just based on the numbers game alone, that would be arrogant to say that. But by the same token, if you believe in this ever expanding cosmos, even if those other like occurrences exist where there is life similar to ours or intelligent life even more advanced than ours, even if you have that power of intergalactic travel, what are the odds still of actually them encountering our little speck of dust floating around in the cosmos? So yeah, no matter how you slice it, it's a long shot, but I think it's a possibility that there's contact made. Will we contact someone else? Not in my lifetime. I don't believe. I mean, us going out and finding someone else, it would take a society more advanced than our own. Alex says, my friend knows someone. Alec, I'm sorry, not Alex, says, my friend knows someone who is crazy, and he asked him what he wants for his birthday, and the crazy guy said, I don't know what I want. It's a bit like porn or a perfect turf. I can't quite describe. What? um, uh, Doctor Who says, if you would say I would look at an old man's videos to my pleasure, I wouldn't believe you. Well, yeah, Doctor Who, that's suspending the idea of what would be reasonable to a whole new level. I agree. Michael says, people have a hard time understanding that space itself can stretch and bend. True. That falls again into the categories of things that are hard to even wrap our brains around. I mean, we can say it, but to truly comprehend it is very, very difficult. Jacqueline says, I think we have to remember how we used to think the earth was flat and the misconceptions we used to make. Just because we can't see past this horizon doesn't necessarily mean it's the edge. Right. No, I agree completely. And again, that goes back to what we're talking about. The advances we've made. You can take any sector of time, it lasts 10 years even, but to a larger part, when you think about the advances we've made in the last 100 years, it's just absolutely stunning. And then when you take that knowledge that we currently have and the technology we currently possess, and then place that against the idea of what are we actually living in, what are we experiencing, then you realize that we still don't know anything. We don't know shit.
So you've triggered Alex.
Why?
He hates infinity. He hates the concept of infinity.
Well, how can for those who don't know, Alex is a friend of ours. He went to high school with Braxton. He's a good friend of us and our whole family, and a very, very smart individual.
He says there's literally infinite numbers of infinities, and some of them are bigger than other ones, but they're all infinity. He said, like, all numbers from 0 to infinity is one infinity, but all numbers from negative infinity is twice the infinity, but both are infinity. How all numbers between 0 and 1 are infinity.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. There's an infinite number of right, but and so I get what he's saying. There's infinity all around us, but it's still almost impossible for me anyway. Well, this is limited to wrap your brain around that concept. Mm-hmm. I do like the concept of infinity because it is so difficult to truly comprehend. But you're right. If you break things down enough, just what Alex is saying, the number of numbers between 0 and 1 is infinite.
Yeah.
Counting is infinite. Lots of things are infinite, but still, because we can say it, doesn't necessarily mean we truly understand it. Tyler says, ooh, deep talks. Time to bring my radical, crazy ideas. We like them. We like radical, crazy ideas. Infinite is a concept, not a number. Exactly. And well, no, but we're talking about what he was saying there, Jack Queen, is an infinite number of numbers. And so that is true because you could just keep counting forever and breaking the count down more and more and more, and it would never end because you could just keep adding numbers to it. Licks had to come.
Yeah.
Licks with the first punching, please. Does mathematics matter when you leave the physical world? Die? Like, do those laws still function outside life? Interesting, Damon. For me, no. This is just my personal beliefs. My personal belief is when you die, that's when you achieve nothingness. And I don't think there is a conscious state to observe it. I think you enter into that impossible to understand abyss that is nothingness. But again, that's everybody has obviously a different opinion of what happens after you die, and I respect them. But I'm just saying, for me, it's just nothingness. I don't think John says I don't think infinity is even possible because it will never end. So I don't know. Am I going fucking brain dead help? Oscar character. The world will end up in your anus. Get it, butt or planet. Into the empty. Yeah, pretty much, Brian. That's the way I see it. Our savior says, I mean, mathematics has never helped me, so why even should I bother to understand it now?
This is one of the few, I think, like the first live streams Alex has watched, and he said, wait, people can super chat to harm you? And then he sent me an anime girl, Eva Lee, smiling.
Well, that's what Susan censors. Alex didn't realize this. Susan censors super chats because some overly sensitive YouTubers had people super chatting saying mean things to them. So now the gang has to get creative when they super chat about how they word things because Susan censors them. Now what's his boss or the head honcho at RPI that Alex is always talking about? What's
Shirley?
Shirley. You got Shirley. We've got Susan, Alex.
Yeah, no, and a group of here with like all the people from RPI. He called the group is called Shirley's Thralls.
Shirley's Thralls. Yeah. Chrome says, now imagine trying to understand an incorporeal being, LOL, something with no concept of time. We're talking about that too. Like you say, now time is something that only exists if you observe it, correct? Because again, whatever this grand palette is, that all of this, whatever this is, sits upon, it doesn't have any concept of time, right? It just is existence. Time doesn't mean anything. Time only means something to us because we observe it, correct? Lud says, people usually assume that the nothingness outside means a lack of space. It's still space, just empty, without cosmic matter. Whether or not it's infinite will always be, as all other things, for debate. But doesn't that... and let's see if I can explain this, Lud. Tell me if I'm wrong, but if we say that nothingness is still space, just empty, once you say empty, isn't it something? Do you know what I'm saying at all? Once you say that it's an empty container, basically, once you use the word empty, it's something. Because something would have to be empty. Nothingness can't be. We're all gonna kill ourselves before this is over. We're gonna have this is gonna be a Code Geass moment, you guys. We're all gonna have gotten Geass and just go. We're gonna feel so insignificant by the time this is all over. John says, when you die, in my opinion, it's just nothing. Just imagine going to sleep with no dreams ever. You won't remember anything and will never wake up. So as a point of life, you won't remember ever. Well, I don't think that takes away a point of life, though, John. I think that conversely, I think it reinforces how I feel about life, which is, holy shit, what a lucky freak thing this is. And eventually someday this is just going to be nothingness. So have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Dimmy, hey, good to see you, pal. Hey, Curtis, glad I can pop in listening to you while I work out. Oh, good. I get a good one in. I actually got a good workout yesterday. I'm still feeling it a little. Yeah, I like to be feel well. Whenever I feel it, it's a little because well, that's another story. And that is what I'm talking about. There is clearly finite, no infiniteness about it. PC Gamer says, if there is infinite space, then there is technically an exact copy of our planet somewhere in the cosmos. You would have to think so, right? PC? Yeah, I understand what you're saying. That's why I've always said it's arrogant to believe that we would be the only form of, if we call this intelligence, intelligent life in the cosmos. Because again, if the people that believe, as do I, that the cosmos is ever expanding, just the numbers game alone tells you that there has to be other situations pretty much identical to what we have here. It's just it becomes a numbers game. Goku Black says, do you think I assume you mean all of us could have a happy ending? Let's all get happy endings. I had to say it. That's interesting. In other words, when this is all said and done for humanity, is there a way out that's happy for all? I don't know. I think there's a lot of neutral ways out. I think there are a lot of ways that humanity ends where it just ends in less than the blink of an eye, and one moment we're here and the next moment we're not. I wouldn't call that a happy ending, but I would call it an ending superior to one of suffering, which is, I know it's not saying much, but as far as, is there an ending that would be happy enough that you're looking forward to it? I would say the only way that takes place is if you have religious beliefs that would tell you that, when the rapture comes or whatever, that it's going to be a great moment of achieving a new consciousness. Outside of that, in my way of thinking, no, there's probably no happy ending. There's just a neutral ending. But as far as religious people, I if you were religious, I could see where you could make a case for a happy ending. Brian says, wasn't expecting to think this much when I woke up. I'm with you, Brian. I don't even know what possessed me to start this conversation today, because it makes me hurt up here and here. And Alex the Great says, I wonder if we die, we just stop moving and just become still for infinite, and we technically never die. I'm not sure what you're saying. So. Oh, okay. I think I understand what you're saying, Alex. So are you saying that even after you die, there is some level of consciousness? I'm taking a leap here. I think that's what you're saying, that even though you're dead, you've achieved a level of consciousness at a different level. I think that would fall closer to religious beliefs, no? I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying I think that would be more of a religious take. So for that to happen, though, there would have to be something pretty significantly mystical about our makeup as humans, and I just don't really see that. Lachlan says our best happy ending would be going to the great waifu paradise in the sky. Listen, if we knew for a fact that was the ending, sorry guys, I'm checking out. I hate to break it to you, but there's not going to be any videos tomorrow. I gotta go. Franklin says we're all going to either freeze or in a mass ball of fire. Well, you would think, Franklin, that would be the eventuality if humanity can stay existent on the planet until the planet dies. I don't think we will. I think humanity will be gone way before the planet. No? Actually, that's a good next step in the conversation. I would just like to see, I know we're on a little bit of a delay here, but I'll watch for it. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think I'll just make it easy so it's a yes or no. Do you guys agree with this statement? Put it that way. Yes or no, the planet will be here long after humans are gone. Yes or no, do you agree with that? It just makes it easier for you to be able to answer in one word. Smokey Loki says, Grope my coconut, Susan. Also, if each region of space operates under a different law of physics, then there might be a super law of physics under which those laws of physics exist within. True. Yep. We had touched on that before, and I agree with that too, Loki. We don't know what these other potential situations similar to ours, we don't know what their rules of physics will be. So that changes the entirety of how difficult navigating the cosmos would be, because you don't know what other forms of physics exist. Thoughts on the canceled Joji situation? Young Quizzy, it's just ridiculous. It's just a bunch of dipshits. Basically, they wanted to cancel Joji because apparently some of the 12-year-olds never realized that he used to be Filthy Frank, and so now they want to cancel him in his music career, which they ain't gonna cancel shit. They can stick it in their ass. So everybody, yes, no. Now, for those who don't know, if you came in, the question was, will the planet be here long after humans have died? So in other words, our eradication will not be planetary. It will be while we exist on the planet. So the vast majority of you agree. Yeah, I think so. Steve says, yes. Also, if there's an infinite universe, there's one planet out there that is one big boob. I want to go to Planet Booby 9. Or no, it'd probably be Planet Booby Double D. Oh, yeah, I want to live there. Damon says, well, scientists say the sun will turn into a red giant and engulf the earth when we're long gone. Yeah, we know that science has told us in uncertain terms that someday, like all stars, the sun is going to go supernova. It's gonna burn out, and that would obviously be the end of Earth. But again, I seriously doubt humans will still, at least the humans that we know today, I doubt that they're still going to be existent on the planet at that time. You know, you never know. With all the planet goes through, we could do something stupid to eliminate ourselves. That's entirely a possibility. Something from any one of a number of different situations could occur that could wipe us out. And if the planet still exists, a new species could evolve. But as far as humans as we know them, once the sun sets for permanent on this planet, I don't think we'll still be around. Guys, we found heaven. It's real, Jacqueline says. Goku Black says nuke the planet. Lude says heaven is a dimension made of titties. Ooh, well then I would entirely have to change my opinion on heaven, Lude. Now you're really complicating things for me, because I want to be a member of the Church of Titties. Diavolo says, do you believe in afterlife? For me personally, no. I believe, as I had said earlier, I believe when you die, just nothing. That's it. All done. Game over. That's what I believe. If our Savior says if Planet Boob exists, then technically Planet Ass should exist too. Ooh, I'll go with Planet Boob because there's a good chance that Planet Ass will have a sulfuric smell every so often. Yeah, I'd rather just stay with Planet Boob. Heaven is made of Nami titties, Attaboy says, and you cannot get in, Curtis. It's too late. No, it's never too late. There's always got to be. Well, okay, well, wait. Then I'll just go to the section of heaven that's made of Sarah's titties. Or Kukaku titties. Chrome says, I think humans will probably survive. It's more a question of will we still be humans between cybernetics, genetic engineering, and mind uploading. Yeah, you could be right, Chrome. I don't know, though. I don't think, again, our current species, I don't think it makes it that far. You could be right, though. And with our technology advancing as quickly as it is, and of course, as we said, advancing technology naturally breeds advancing technology. The technology starts to advance itself. Given that, we could be on the precipice of a serious acceleration where it's quite possible that technology takes over the planet. And who knows where that leaves humanity? As their pets? As expendable and removed? Who knows? Smokey Loki says, George Carlin said it best. The planet isn't going anywhere. We are. Yeah, I like that. Also, just found out Jerry Stiller died. Such a great actor. Yeah, he did. I know that was. I love Jerry Stiller, and it's funny. I was telling Brax how Smokey Loki how Jerry Stiller passing, and most people remember him from Seinfeld, being George's father. But it's funny how, being an old fart, Jerry Stiller had been in so many things for so many years prior to that. He has one of the truly great legacies of Hollywood.
Listen,
I heard the dog. The dog's moaning and whining because she can't come in. Yeah, the door's not open wide enough.
The funny thing is, if you look at the door, it's open.
She won't. She's very. The giant dinosaur dog is very well behaved, and if the door isn't wide open, she's plenty strong enough to push that door. She won't come in. She thinks
has one paw inside.
She thinks that means I'm not supposed to. I'm not supposed to intrude, so she'll just lay there and whine until we let her in. She's 130 pounds. She could open that door if she wanted to. Dimmy says, I was battling fear of death, basically on the brink of getting over it, but hearing you say you're happy to be here pushed me over it. Basically on the brink. Oh, getting over it. I just want to make sure I understood you, Dimmy. I don't want to push you the wrong way. See, I've always seen my way of looking at things as kind of a happy way to look at it, because we're going to die. We know that. We're going to die. It's so ominous to say and gives people such anxiety. Man, it's a great ride. We got lucky. We got lucky as fuck. Regardless of what you believe, whether you believe in a grand deity or if you believe in the scientific means of existence, in either event, it's ridiculously lucky that we exist. So fuck it. Have a good time with it. Enjoy it.
Oh, you want to show chat?
Oh no, poor dog. Ooh, we found the giant dinosaur dog, as big as she is scared of everything. We were working on Braxton's computer the other day, and we found out that she's terrified of these cleaners. Is she in the camera? Oh, she's gone. She's out. She's out. Umi, look. But Umi, it's just look at it. Umi, you want some? Oh, what the hell is that? If I keep doing it, she'll start looking for some of our stuff to rip off the walls and stuff. This and water bottles. Here. Okay, I'm done. But now watch. I need a drink.
She's trying to get
out. All right. We're putting it down. That's my giant dinosaur dog. She's so brave. Stunning and brave.
If you ever want to rob us, you know what to bring.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you want to rob the house, you don't have to bring a gun. Just bring some cleaner. Dimmy says, oh, no, I was saying you helped me. Oh, good. I was hoping so. When you said you're happy to be here. Now I'm just chilling, glad to even be here. And really, to me, Dimmy, that's how you should live your life. Because, again, it's going to end. So what? I mean, we tend to put too much emphasis on death. Why not put the emphasis on the fact that how cool is it that we got to be alive? Because we beat, again, no matter what your theory of existence is, we beat all the odds to be here. If you believe as do I in the scientific theory, I mean, I don't even know if there's numbers to describe what a long shot we are to exist. So fuck it. Have fun with it. And yeah, we're humans. So when we create attachments to people, it's sad when they go on, but you know what? It's still happy that they got to be here. That's the way I always looked at it. Really? John says my 130-pound dog is scared of everything too. So is she. Now, the only time she's not afraid is if she goes into protect mode. I'm putting it down, the dog. No, not the dog, goddammit, Crimson Dagger. Like, she's very protective. You guys know my younger stepdaughter is multiply disabled, so she's blind. She sits in a wheelchair. Very protective of her. Now, if she feels like she's threatened in any way, shape, or form, she drops all the fear. She'll just, she'll be in her room standing up. It's like anybody comes in here is going to have a fucking problem. But outside of that, she's scared of everything. Do you believe in the multiverse theory, Curtis? I don't disbelieve in it, Lachlan. In other words, it's one of those things that I don't know if the multiverse exists, but I certainly am not one to say, "Oh no, that's an impossibility." So I don't know. I don't know, where does that leave me. I don't discount it at all. I think it's a potentially viable theory. I just don't know for me if that's what I think is actually going on or not. Let's see. Damon, that's interesting. Curtis, can you imagine a brand new color? Try to. No, but I'm so I have such a lack of artistic flair when it comes to colors or perceptions of that nature. I'm a bad one to ask. Now, if you were to ask somebody like Chrome, I think it would be much more possible for her to, in her mind, because just from as I have with many of you guys, I've gotten to know you guys, knowing a little bit about Chrome and how her mind works and how artistically given it is. I'm not saying she could conceptualize a whole different color. I'm saying she would have a shot and where I would have none. So for me, no, I couldn't. Franklin, here's a weird way to think of it. God created the galaxy by ejaculation. Great, we're all sticky stuff. Steve says, I think the most likely end to humanity will be a meteor. I think that's a real possibility too. We've had several extinctions before us because of them. Saying that, could we invent something to stop them, direct them away, break them? No, I agree, Steve. I think that's even though it's still a long shot, I still think that's a reasonable fear to have. However, do you guys think too, though? Do you think, because I do, again, given the fact that I believe that the cosmos is ever expanding and it's expanding away from us, we were part of that initial expansion, so it continues on away from us. I think that begins to lessen the likelihood of us being struck by significant space debris. And that doesn't make it impossible at all. Again, just talking a numbers game. I think because we're expanding away, I would say, and have been for some time, I would say that makes it less likely, but still a real legitimate potential for being an occurrence. Johnny Bravocado says the ending to all of humanity will be Susan. Well, yeah, that's a lot of sticky stuff. Big Green says. Chrome says I can give HSV values or RGB values maybe if you ask for a color, maybe, but to come up with a new color, no, I'm not a hippie. I'm a designer. Why? I know what you're saying too, Chrome, but I didn't mean that in the hippie way. I just meant it just seems to me that your brain is wired so differently from my monochrome one. I'm talking to Chrome and I said monochrome. I'm funny. My monochrome brain, it just seems like you would be more the type of person that would be able to imagine that. I mean, that's just, again, the thing that's unfortunate is we can only really understand what we know as individuals, what our own makeup allows us to understand. So anything else is just me conjecturing, but it just seems like you would be able to, again, imagine something like that where I have just no chance. M says, punch Fast Kid a bunch. I'm a paying customer. He turns around. Wait, I gotta throw one of those Mike Tyson combinations.
No, you're not. See?
You want me to get the spray can out? She's like, do you guys see? She barked at me for hitting Fast Kid. I say, you want me to get the spray can out? And she's like, okay, fuck it, hit him. Never mind. What other boy Lex says? Tsunade's titties or Hinata's, Draconis? Oh, you can't go wrong either way there. 6 of one, half a dozen of another, or double D one, single D the other. Yeah, there's no winner there, or there's no loser there. There's only winner. Gio says, at first I heard media instead of meteorite. I wouldn't put it past CNN. World domination and world annihilation aren't that different from each other. Yeah. Well, the only problem there, though, Sajil, is CNN would have to somehow convince somebody to watch the goddamn channel first. The ratings are not good, is what I'm saying. Oh, I want to tell you guys too. This is absolutely a little bit of self promotion, but having this kind of conversation made me think of it. You guys know I've got the podcast channel, which is based in a Patreon. We got a lot of this more in depth, more politically bent, but these in depth conversations coming up over there for any who are interested. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you real quick. I'll give you the address for the cave, which is the Patreon. That's where you go if you want to be a part of the actual recording. So the recordings are on live streams. And then I'll just give you a place you can go if you're just interested in the podcast. I'll give you can get the podcast on any of the podcast outlets, but I'll give you one of those, which is Buzzsprout, which is my home for the podcast. And of course, the Patreon costs $2 a month. The podcast costs nothing. So
Alex,
just let me hit you guys with those.
He sent me a meme.
And,
it goes, to teach my children a lesson about socialism, I gave all my kids a list of chores I thought they could handle, but I set their allowance at the same level. Then I had a CIA murder me and install a puppet head.
That's pretty good. I like that. I like that. You got to send me that meme. I like that. I want to keep that one. Itachi Uchiha will kill us, Goku Black says. Samir says, I'd like you to watch more Bleach. Six episodes a week is pretty much all I can fit in there. Diavolo says, I'm being ignored. I see. That never happens. As soon as somebody feels like they're being ignored, that's the comment I see. There really needs to be a little Afghanistan in Disney, Johnny Bravocado says. We have the best culture. I agree. Or hell, just let's make the Afghanistan theme park all unto itself. There'd be plenty of gooshing going on. Raghav says, hold on a second, Raghav. The debris / asteroids and comments, the galaxy has a comment section, and comets in our solar system are more than enough, and Jupiter does keep most of them in check for us. Our universe doesn't expand locally. Gravity wins that war. So, well, that's what I'm saying too, Raghav. And I don't know how I explained it. Because of the outward expansion, I think we have been, as you say, we have been basically solid state for some time. So while we do have what is in existence within this finite area to deal with, I think if you went back many, many, many years, you would have had even back to maybe the days of the dinosaurs. You may not have been in this finite state. You may still have been experiencing some of the actual expansion, is what I was trying to say. I don't know how well I'm explaining that. Smokey Loki says, yeah, someone needs to make a cologne that smells like freshly baked bread. I agree. I mean, we've all walked by a bakery. Who wouldn't want to smell like that? I am 100%. When you said that originally, it actually struck me that, holy shit, I'm surprised nobody's thought of that. Oh, that's one of the greatest. We had a bakery in the city I used to work for in Amsterdam, New York, and they closed, unfortunately, years ago. And just the thought of being on that block, because it sat right in the middle of what am I trying to say? The entire area on the south side where this bakery sat was all homes. It was all residential, except for this bakery. And it was right in the middle of the block. And whenever you got within a 3-4 block radius, it was just like, it just made the smell of the bread just made you happy. Lachlan says, if space travel became possible through suspended animation, would you perform the trip? Because I have seen enough sci-fi films to say, fuck that. Someone else go crazy and murders the rest. That, you know what, you're right, Lachlan, too. If and I get what you're saying, if you have to go into a state of suspended animation to make the trip, because otherwise you wouldn't live long enough to see the destination, there's always somebody who fucks that up. He's right. Every goddamn movie you see, book you read, whatever the case may be, when the spaceship is loaded with people in a state of suspended animation, some asshole always has a way to break free and fuck everything up. So if I'm not the one who has that information on how to wake up from the suspended animation early, it means somebody else did. So fuck it. Yes, I can agree with that. I completely agree with that. John says, my dog is scared of my fucking hamster while my hamster is ready to box his ass. It always seems to be the way. The littler creatures are always like, want to go, bitch? And then something like this giant dinosaur's dog, like, no. Sami Adit says, we're all going to die in the end. Golden was right with that one, wasn't he? That's pretty much as deep as Golden ever gets, but we'll give him that. He was right about that one. Do you think aliens exist? Majin says, yeah. Majin Romeo, yeah, I think they're out there somewhere. Again, I had said earlier, earlier on in the stream, to me it would just be arrogant to think that we're the only form of intelligent life in the cosmos. So yeah, I do believe they're out there. Now, when we have conversation about whether or not they made contact, that can go either way, but I think they're definitely out there. Dimmy says, I know I'm black, but hear me out. Fried chicken cologne might get a girl a wedding ring. Yep, it might. Hey, I love fried chicken. The only thing I've noticed that's different in, I guess all this is regional. I don't know where you're from, Dimmy, but I know regionally here in upstate New York, where I am, or in the Northeast, it seems like, and again, this is a generality, the preference in the black neighborhoods I've been to, because I'm a fried chicken fan too, so it's a regular stop for me. The preference in the black community seems to be where they like the greasier style, and it's just too much for me to handle. I just can't. I mean, I can, but then I cry like a little bitch after I eat it. It's not that it tastes bad. I remember I went one time. I had done a wrestling show. I think I told you guys this. I still remember it was in Schenectady, New York, and I was hungry as hell. And the only place still open was a place called Royal Fried Chicken. I don't know if it still exists, and I'm sure it was just a local thing. I was like, oh yeah, some fried chicken, and it was right in the middle of the hood, and it was a large African American population community in there. And so I go in and get it, and then the people were really cool. I couldn't believe it. Like I say, it was wee hours in the morning. There was a bunch of people in there. But anyway, I get my chicken. I'm all excited, and I get out, and I was going to eat it on the ride home, and I get out and get onto the interstate, and I pulled one of the pieces out, and I shit you not, I pulled out one of the chicken breasts, and the skin went and slipped right off. It was so greasy. I was hungry, so I ate that shit anyway. And this had to be 20-something years ago, and I think I still got a little bit of the shits from that chicken. Jesus Christ, Downward says my Chihuahua ran off a mountain lion once. Isn't that amazing sometimes how that happens? I mean, you see videos of things like that and stuff too, how the smallest of animals will somehow be able to intimidate the scariest of animals. That's pretty fucking cool, actually. Fried chicken is good, Em. I love fried chicken. I zip tie my penis to the brick says my dog is a mastiff lab, is terrified of my ferret. It's funny how that works out. In Georgia, our fried chicken is perfect. It does seem, you know what, Dimmy, too. I have noticed that. I didn't even think to bring that up because I spent a decent amount of time visiting in the South. Yeah, I tend to like, outside of the chains, Kentucky Fried Chicken, like that, which are the same no matter where you go. Yes, I agree. The Southern fried chicken is way better than the Northern fried chicken. I completely agree. The fried chicken places that I've had down there do not have that heavy grease level, at least just the ones I've been to. And the taste, the spices are way better, I think, too. Yeah, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. Yeah, that it could, a lot of that stuff is regional, just like with pizzas and stuff. It seems like fried chicken, pizza, wings, even sometimes hot dogs, the regional differences are what make them exceptional or sometimes gross, depending on your. Do I like gators? Headmaster Kun says. I live in Florida. I don't like to hang out with them. because chomp 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 and all that. Do I obviously I have an attachment to Florida because most of you guys know my whole family, myself included, are huge nuts for Disney World. So Florida is like a happy place for me because typically if I'm there, it's because we're getting to go to Disney. Prism says the South fries things more than the North. Yeah, I've noticed that. You'd have to hope they do it a lot better. Now, that's true, Prism. And they, at least with the chicken, Dimmy's right. They do. At least that's my experience. The some of the fried chicken you get up here is just, again, the grease and the overall flavor. It's just they do seem to season it better in the South too. Yeah, I'll agree with that too, Dimmy. He says, yeah, y'all destroy us in pizza. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Oh, Dimmy, it used to be way worse too. When I lived in New Mexico and in the Southwest, that was back in the 80s. And from what I understand, because I still have friends there and stuff now, it's a lot different. Now you can actually get a decent pizza here or there. The pizza was horrible. All the local, I don't know what the fuck they thought pizza was, but it wasn't pizza. And the only place it was even palatable, and you guys know me, I'm a pizza freak, was a what was the name of that chain? I think it might even still be around. Godfather's Pizza. There was the one chain. We didn't even have a Pizza Hut back at the time. I guess they have that now. But Godfather's Pizza was okay. That was palatable. But all the local pizza joints in the Southwest, it was awful. Oh, Headmaster Kuhn says, I meant gator meat. I've never had it. It's pretty good. I'd say better, but less convenient than chicken. More expensive, harder to find, etc. I've never had that. I've had a few different, more exotic meats. I've had buffalo meat. I've had bear meat, squirrel, so on and so forth. But no, I've never had gator meat. Prism says, I can tell you the one Southern dish I don't want to try is fried butter. That's a heart attack and a healthy. Oh yeah, well I'm not a fan of butter anyway. Oh yeah, I couldn't do that. Butter's not like other condiments to me where I just don't use, like mayonnaise or something like that I despise. It's just not something I use a lot of. If I'm gonna have toast for breakfast, of course I put a little butter on it, but it's just a thin layer. Yeah, I'm not a huge butter fan. I couldn't do that. Steve says we destroy you in crumpets and tea. And in fairness, Steve, I'll give you guys credit. Sometimes when you know of a region or a nation or whatever, their specialty food, sometimes it gets overblown or maybe it caught on for reasons other than the fact that the food is just good. But fish and chips, when we think of England, we think of fish and chips. Now, of course, at Disney, in Epcot, any of the nations you go to, all the food, all the merchandise is all authentic. They, just like the pizza that I love there in Italy, those ovens were all brought in from Italy, constructed the same way they do things over there. Everything is authentic. So the last trip or the trip before last went down, I think it was when our friend Alex went with us, the guy that Brax is talking to on the computer right now. He wanted to try the fish and chips, and I hadn't really thought about it. It's like, okay, it's fish and French fries. I've had it before. Nah, you guys know how to do it. It was so good. I'm not even necessarily a fish fan. I'll eat it once in a while. That I could eat regularly. That's a deserved legacy as far as I'm concerned, is British fish and chips, because that shit was fucking great. Man. Lachlan says in Scotland they sell deep fried Mars bars. Never had them before, but definitely not healthy. I've seen stuff like that, Lachlan. I've seen deep fried Snickers bars too. Even me, fat ass that I am, yeah, I didn't have the nerve to try that. I thought that one could kill me on the spot. Smokey Loki says, I can sum up most food here in California for this: half the quality for twice the price. At least the air pollution here dulls the taste buds. Loki says. Well, that's what you probably know, Loki. I lived in California for a number of years. Now that was even before New Mexico, so that would have been late 70s and early 80s. But I lived further north, I think, than what you're describing, just by saying the smog. I lived in Vacaville, which is right in between Sacramento and San Francisco in northern central California. Yes, prices are extremely high. Pizza out there at that time too was not nearly as good as obviously New York, New Jersey pizza, but I love the way we make pizza here. But yes, even back then, prices were ridiculous. on everything. How to go from talking about the universe to fried chicken and pizza? I don't know, John, but that's one of the things I love so much about this community. The fact that we could make that jump makes me happy. It does. I just so enjoy these conversations. So, Nick Dev said the same thing, and you're going to see that happen a lot here. The conversations, for those who aren't regulars, the conversations jump all over. But to me, it's a lot of the fun. It's a lot of the fun of it. Can't wait for episode 2, The Last Ride Sunday. I'm not following, Steve. Which one? Episode 2, The Last Ride. I'm not sure what that is. What that's in reference to. Pizza is the universe, boy. Nacho Dragon says, not gonna get an argument from me. Do you know how much it tortures me in Code Geass when they were talking about making that giant pizza and then it got fucked up? I mean, it's not a giant pizza is not quite there with anime titties, but it's not far below. This is an important topic. Yes, I agree, Loki. I agree. Beets are better than fried chicken, Johnny Bravocado? No. Oh, I hate beets. When I was a kid growing up, my mother loved them, and she would make beets all the time. And then as a kid, and especially back in my day, the thing was, if you didn't like something, it was just because. How can you not like it? Of course you like it. You just have it in your mind. It's like, no, it's not a state of mind. They're fucking gross. And she would force me to eat them. And to this day, they still give me a gag reflex. Parenting in general was way different back in my day than it is now. As a kid, every basically opinion or thought you had was just poo-pooed away because it didn't align with what parents thought. And that's not throwing stones, it's just the way most all families were. So if I said, no, I hate these things, let me just eat something else. This is disgusting to me. Oh, no, it's not. It tastes good. It's just in your mind. You've just decided you don't like them. It's like, no, I never decided. Why the fuck would I decide I didn't like them? They didn't stab me or anything. I just took a bite and it made me want to throw up. No, that's not it. Eat them. Okay. Downlord says deep fried Twinkie stays the same going up as they do going down. Horse isn't bad. Mountain lion is stringy. I never had horse or mountain lion. Not much I haven't eaten animal wise. I've never had those. And deep fried Twinkies I have had. I don't like them, which is surprising because I like Twinkies and I'm a fat guy. It just didn't seem to work. Or I would assume too. There's different ways of deep frying them. But yeah, I didn't like them. Mountain lion is stringy. That sounds like it would be the case. Mountain lion seems like it would be stringy just because of the sinewy way that they're built. Rick says, I love a beating with 2 E's. Oh, Undertaker. Gotcha, Steve. Oh, okay. Last Ride 2. I gotcha. I catch little bits and pieces here or there, and the writing has gotten better. And then, of course, as the writing was getting better, we hit this coronavirus thing, and now they have to work in empty arenas. So that kind of sucks. Exactly, Big Green. When something's disgusting, it's disgusting. But yeah, my mom would just never believe it. No, you just decided you don't like it. It's like, well, no, you like it. I didn't decide I didn't like it. The fact that it makes me want to puke made me decide I didn't like it. Venison's okay, Lachlan. I actually like venison better as jerky. I like venison dried better than I do cooked, or prepared. But venison's not terrible. But yeah, I like venison jerky better than I like venison meat. Meat. Smokey Loki says, I've heard that mountain lion is actually pretty good. You just have to prepare it right. I've heard that especially about a lot of more exotic meats, Loki. They say a big part of it goes into the preparation because there are so many different ways you can go about preparing those things. Haggis. I hear that talked about all the time, Chrome, and I didn't know what that was comprised of. Is minced sheep, mashed potatoes, and spices. Oh, I don't know if I could do that. Oh, no, we've had that conversation, Nick, many times. He says, yeah, but here's the thing we all want to know. You like pineapple in your pizza or not? No. Fuck pineapple on pizza. But I hate pineapple anyway, but still, fuck pineapple on pizza. And that's like, I've said, my wife and I we're very fortunate. we rarely have major disagreements on anything. We're pretty much in sync in the way we do things in our life. That's a bone of contention because she puts that goddamn pineapple on that pizza. Ugh, Hawaiian pizzas. The ham, perfectly understand it. Ham all day long. Yep, put the ham on the pizza all you want. I'm cool with it. As soon as you add the pineapple, no, we got a problem. Haggis is the organs of the sheep, Michael says. Yeah. I don't think. Oh, yeah. Couldn't do that. Yeah. No. Wait until you hear about kiwi pizza. Oh no, Majin Romeo. Hi, you guys are gonna gross me out. Krusty Bomb says the stream is like one's existence, pondering the end of existence, and then talking about food because we've done the pondering for too long, and now we're actually getting hungry. I think Krusty Bomb just capsulized the journey we went on today perfectly. Yes, I agree. That's exactly what happened. That's good. Missy Meows says hashtag Team Wife Pizza. No, don't encourage her. Oh, God damn, pineapple on pizza. I just pine pukeable pizza. Ragav says. You don't eat haggis, Chrome? No, I like I say, I don't think I could do that. But again, it's not even saying that much for me because again, my tastes are so limited. That's why I am surprised though that I did end up liking British fish and chips as much as I did. That was some good shit.
That was good.
Yeah, wasn't it? Brack said the same thing. Yeah, we go back, dude. We got to put that on the list.
I remember that.
Yeah, next time we get down to Disney, we got to stop at that place again and get some more of that fish and chips. You ate pizza last night right when the stream started? You ate pizza right when the stream started, Franklin says. Well, I was going to say I want some now, but my wife's making roast beef, making a roast for dinner. So as much as I love pizza, yeah, that's cool. I'm okay with roast beef and mashed potatoes. Oh, yeah. What do you think about sardines on pizza? Now, see, that's a funny one for me, Leslie. Again, my limited taste, I don't like sardines. But to me, sardines on pizza make more sense than does pineapple on pizza. I'm not going to eat either, but I for whatever reason, I know the taste of sardines. That seems like it makes more sense, even though it's not my thing. Pineapple on pizza just goes against every rule of the cosmos as far as I'm concerned. They literally put everything on pizza now, pretty much, Franklin. Yeah, it's almost become like a game now. It's how far can we push the pizza toppings? Yeah, I agree.
Pizza, let's go.
The what?
Mac and cheese
pizza. Did you have that right? Didn't we get you that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They have it at college.
Oh, they have it at college too. Well, that fits for Brax too because he's been a mac and cheese fanatic since he was a little kid. It was one of the early things. I mean, when he first started eating solid foods, he's been a nut for Johnny Bravocado says Smoky Mountain was the last great American wrestling promotion. That was a good promotion. I can't stand today's shit. See, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I like the workers. I like the athletes, the performers they have nowadays. It just seems like across the board, the writing is just mostly shitty. Ooh, Dalward says I used to just eat sardines by themselves as a snack. Nope, couldn't do that. Well, I could, but they'd come right back up. But Smokey Loki says, what if Spaz Kid made you a pizza, but instead of tomato sauce as the base, he used mayonnaise? Well, listen, I love my kid more than anything in the world, but he knows I would have to beat his ass at that point. That would have to be a fight, correct?
What?
Loki said, what would I do if you made me a pizza, but thought you were funny, and instead of putting pizza sauce, you put mayonnaise?
Oh,
I said, yeah, well, that's what I said. I said, no matter how much I love my kid, he would understand the beating he would have to get then. Brax is very pragmatic. He would be like, you know what? This is going to be funny. I'm going to get shit kicked out of me, but this is going to be funny. Yeah. Yeah, it would be. Big Green says it would be like the end of the Bean Boozled video if you did that. Big Green, that was, for those of you who didn't see, that was, what, Big Green, 2-3 years ago at least, maybe more. We did when the Bean Boozled challenge was the thing, we did that. And so we were picking through, you'd pick one and see if you got the good tasting one or the nasty one. And at the end of it, we got done we're wrapping up the video. I just said, fuck it. I took a handful of them and just threw them in my mouth. and I was determined that I was going to eat them once I did it. That was one of the most disgusting, vile flavor combinations you could ever imagine. And I have a strong stomach, and my stomach didn't feel right for a couple days afterwards. It still had a little bit of a queasy feeling. Oh God, that was gross. Oh, huh. Would you eat a pineapple and sardines pizza for $1 billion? Well, of course, sure. Nick, it would take, listen, just because I don't like something and I would probably puke, I would do it for a lot less than $1 billion. We're just talking about eating a pizza here, you know. It's like yes, you could take off a huge number of zeros off that amount, and yes, I would eat a pineapple and sardine pizza for it. Stormstar says, me and my friends competed to see who had the best gag reflex by deep throating a spoon. I won, and one of them said, I know you're straight, but that's what you have to say at that point. Before he finished, I said, how much you paying? Hey, you're 100% right, Stormstar. It's like I've been a big believer in the old adage. I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. Absolutely. You gotta make the green. Period. So curious. So curious. So Curtis Chrome says, just curious, how many G100s are we up to this month so far? Actually, I just I had another Goosher come to me and ask if he could put in another G100 or if it would be better to wait. And unfortunately, I had to ask him if he wouldn't mind, which is fine with waiting until June, because right now, Chrome, we're at 29 for the month. So it's like, no, I'm sorry. 31 for the month, I believe it is. I had the list up. Hold on, I'll tell you in just a second. I had the list up. How come it's down? I can count them for you right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 7, 28, 29. Okay, I counted 30 now. We're up to 30. So I was wrong. It wasn't 29 or 31. It was 30. Yes, we're up to 30 for the month. Lukaki Tsunami says, as a hardcore wrestler, what are your thoughts on Mick Foley? Absolute legend. Absolute legend. Again, when I first started in the business and I like doing those types of violent matches, we didn't have terminology for it like hardcore. It was just like, okay, let's go kick the shit out of each other. But within that framework, he's the greatest. Terry Funk's right there with him, but Mick is the king. Arthur says, sup, man? I just want to say thanks for all the videos. They are really entertaining. It's my birthday, by the way. I turned 18 and can't go anywhere because of the quarantine. Well, thank you, first of all, for the kind words, and happy birthday, Arthur. I know I feel so bad for you guys. Just like what Arthur's talking about, a milestone like your 18th birthday, and you're limited on the shit you can do. I feel so bad for the seniors in the class of 2020, whether it's high school or college or whatever. I mean, we all know about the bigger picture things. We know about the threat to the economy and the loss, and of course, not to diminish the loss of life, but there's a lot of tragedy involved aside from loss of life as well. And they're just the memories that some people didn't get to create because of this. It just sucks all the way around. Leslie says, what type of dessert do I eat the least and the most? I don't know about the least. As far as desserts, I don't know. Again, I'm a fat guy. I like a lot of things. As far as chocolate, believe it or not, Hershey's chocolate, or the chocolate they use in Disney for their stuff, like the Mickey bars, the ice cream bars, is just phenomenal. I'm a big fan of fruit pies. I'm a fruit pie. Blueberry, cherry, apple, if you have a little ice cream to put on it. So I don't know. Those would probably be up there for my favorites. Biggest Green has said, yeah, I got drunk on my birthday because there's nothing else to do. I do. I feel bad, especially for you younger folks. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's the beauty of being young, is being able to go out and party and have a good time when there's a big event or something. It makes me feel bad. Steve says, my birthday too today. I'm 69. I was class of 2020. Smokey Loki says, so I dodged COVID by a full decade. Yeah, I do. I just, I have a lot of empathy for the kids that got screwed because of this goddamn thing. Jeez. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna have to pack it in. This was a lot of fun. We'll do more streams like this too with the bigger questions, because the beauty of these streams is just what we all outlined here. We can have a fun, entertaining conversation about the big, almost unimaginable things, and yet still have it morph into something totally relatable like food. And mayonnaise instead of pizza sauce on a pizza. That's vile. I think that might be illegal. Should be illegal. I don't know. But anyway, here today's sticky stuff is sponsored by Space Food. Since we talked about space and food, it's Space Food sticky stuff. What that means, I don't fucking know. But you guys are about to get some Space Food sticky stuff, because pum, here it is. Sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for everybody. Space Food sticky stuff. Maybe it's just Tang. Could be. Sticky stuff for all of you. Oh, it's so spacey and so foodie. We'll bang, okay? Flashly like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, whether we're talking space, whether we're talking food, whether we're talking the good fried chicken or the skin fell right off the meat fried chicken, the most important thing, goose, 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 goose. Goose.